It's a new week. We're excited about that. Only announcement we really have that's different for game week this week is we've kind of started something new here. They moved our radio show to Mondays, so what we're going to do is we're going to have an event on Thursday evening. It's going to be for our fans, and at 6 o'clock will be pregame, and at 7 o'clock will be kickoff, and we'll have a halftime where we give away tickets and sideline passes and stuff like that. And we're doing it for fans and obviously alumni and those type of things. We're going to have an event at the Lake Club. So Ed Moransky, myself, Bob Hannon, and we'll have some other select guests there on a weekly basis. It'll be every Thursday. You don't have to be a member. And as you well know, Coach Moransky knows how to show everyone a good time. So we expect to see you all out there. And it's a chance for you to come and see the Lake Club. And it's good for us, good for our fans, good for recruiting. And you don't have to be a member, so that's a good thing. And we'll do that every Thursday. And we're going to do that for the remainder of the season. So you guys have an opportunity to get together with the coaching staff and everyone else. But moving on to Valparaiso, obviously, they had a tough first game. But the thing that I see clearly is when you evaluate a team from last year to this year, we broke down a lot of games on them last year, and this year is they're playing a lot harder. I like what they have at quarterback. Their freshman came in for a first time playing and threw for 394 yards. He was 27 of 42, so he had a pretty good night out for his first time out. And they were really competitive until a minute to go in the third quarter there. They were back and forth score-wise and actually jumped out to a 14-0 lead. They got an all-league returning punter there. He has a school record for most yardage there. Got 3 returners on defense that are all conference players, 3 on offense. McCarty, the receiver, and 2 offensive linemen, 2 defensive linemen, and a linebacker. But they've improved. They're working harder. The score may not have indicated that necessarily, but they're a team that's much improved, and they'll be excited to come in here and play, like everyone is. So we're going to have to put our best foot forward and play mistake-free football.
Coach, how encouraged are you? Christian said he talked about shooting themselves in the foot in the offensive game at some points. How encouraged are you, though, overall, of what you guys did over the weekend? You can bring that into Valpo.
Well, I think the thing is if you're an outsider looking in and your expectations probably aren't very high, I think you look at it, well, you guys might have did some good things. But we expected to win that game, and you guys knew when I said that on Friday night. And we're just really disappointed. We're really disappointed that we let something slip out of our hands that we felt like we had control. We had a couple third downs. We rolled the ball back there. We had a third down. We had a drop. So there's some things we didn't convert there. The first half we controlled the ball, moved the ball down the field, but only had 6 points to show for it. So there's a lot of things that we were really disappointed in. It's just really offensively that we felt like we could have did better. Defensively, I thought we did some good things as far as containing them. They were trying to run the ball inside on us, and they couldn't. So they started to get the ball outside a little bit, and really the couple big runs that they had outside of us were mistakes on our part. Just not fitting something right. It's not something schematically, and we were a little bit frustrated about that. And obviously the one deep ball that got us, we just got a little bit antsy there. We weren't keying the right person. We had our eyes in the backfield as opposed to reading through the line of scrimmage there and reading this play-action pass, and you better get back to the deep post. Now, we worked all day yesterday correcting all those type of things. Hopefully we can get that corrected and we don't have a reoccurring problem with that, in the future. So, I think our mood yesterday was we were kind of down a little bit. We were disappointed, and that's a good sign.
Eric, are you concerned at all about David and extra points and special teams and field goals?
No, I think the one that was blocked was the offensive line's fault, and quite frankly, it was not the effort that I expect. I put the gentleman on notice, and he might not play. He might not play again the rest of the year. It's a serious thing. It's points off the board. And yes, the snap came back a little bit low, but it was handled. Konecki did an unbelievable job of getting the ball up and putting it there. And the ball, if we didn't have the penetration and get blown back right there, we probably still make the kick. So, that was the thing. The other kick, 39-yarder, that's right around the bubble for us right now. So I'm not, if it becomes a recurring problem, yes, but right now, no.
What about kickoffs?
kickoffs, we're gonna, I don't know that we can kick it in the end zone. I look at a lot of teams across the country. I don't think anyone consistently really can. So we're going to try to kick the ball for hang time, and really return-wise, other than the one return where we missed a tackle, we did a pretty good job in the kickoff game there, and we're going to try to kick the ball high and get down there and be within 15 yards of the guy catching the ball and try to keep it to a 15, 12-yard return, somewhere in that range.
Yeah, but I saw that Nick Liss got moved up in the depth chart.
Yeah, we're going to use him because he can get great lift on a ball. And it's not uncommon for sometimes punters to be your kickoff guy because they normally have the strongest leg.
Eric, the human nature tells you played Michigan State last week, a team that was, I'm not going to say superior, but a division up. Now you're playing a team, Division I AA, but a non-scholarship team, I believe in. How do you keep that even keel, not having kids get overconfident, perhaps overlook this team?
Well, there's a lot of ways you can play it, spin it, as Coach Scalzo would say, but the reality of it is it's an opportunity to play another football game, and it's an opportunity you're either gonna win or lose, and we need to go out and win a football game right now. It's been a while. We're at home, and we need to control what we can control, and that means executing, doing things right, doing what we need to do, and that means practicing today. You're not going to go out there and play well on Saturday if you don't have a good practice today. You're not going to go out there and play well on Saturday if you don't get your corrections squared away from Monday. So those are the kind of things. The only thing we can control is the way we prepare. And I expect us to prepare in a manner that we expect to win football games. And, you look at Utah State. They're all over Auburn. All over. And so I don't think you can take anything for granted in the game of football. It's up and down. It's year to year. And, I'm sure if you want to spin it the other way, look at Michigan State. Did they take Youngstown State for granted? I don't know. I don't know. But you can't take anyone for granted because there's a lot of good football coaches out there. There's a lot of people that have a lot of passion for the game, appreciate it, and they're trying to get their shot too. And we got to be ready to play. They're going to be hungry. I mean, they want to get a win too. They haven't had one in a while either.
Coach, they say the old cliche from week 1 to week 2 is the biggest improvement. What's some specific areas where you want to see your team make those strides?
I want to see us consistently get lined up correctly, specifically defensively, and we're better, no question, but we can be even that much better. When we're aligned correctly, your chance of success goes way down, and don't give them anything. And I like to see us on offense eliminate the silly penalties like the false start. We had 2 of those. That was a little bit discouraging. I want to see us run the ball better. We didn't run the ball up to my standards here. I don't care if you're playing Michigan State, Cleveland Browns, Pittsburgh Steelers. I mean, you got to be able to run the football, and the plays are there. We just got to execute a little bit better and play with our eyes up and get a little better fundamentally. We should be fine.
Coach, you talked last week and you said you were going to learn a lot about your group when they actually played a game with so many new faces. What did you learn? What were some of the big things you learned having played a game that you didn't know heading into the game maybe?
Well, I had a lot of confidence going into the game. And that's probably why I was so upset with losing. I felt like we had gelled pretty good during camp. I like that part of it. I expected us to move the ball like we did, but I expected us to score more points. And I felt like we left probably 2 to 3 touchdowns on the board out there. And you can't do that. You just can't do that. And I don't like leaving points out there on the field, and that's something we got to do a better job of. I learned that this, even though this group's a young group of guys, they kind of have a moxie to them that they're not going to get caught up in the Big Ten or lights or this or that. And I want to see us come out and in an environment like this next environment we're going to be in back here at home, come out and play well too. And it doesn't matter who we're playing. We play the same way, and that's at a high level of tremendous passion. Expect to win, play hard, out-hit people, play smart, good football, play Youngstown State football. That's what I want to see us do. It doesn't matter who we play. Come play the way we're capable of and get after people. And we have an opportunity to do that again on Saturday, and we're going to see.
Eric, what type of environment do you expect so?
I think the tailgate lot's probably full. It should be a good environment there. Weather-wise, you guys are the experts on weather and conference predictions, so I'll leave that stuff to you guys. But Parksy might be able to help us over there. He's got some connections with the weather gods. But I expect an electric environment. I think these kids will be excited to be home. Some guys have never suited up before will have their opportunity to, as far as dress up and be on the sideline. I think it's always good to be a part of an opener for a new season, and we want to get it started off right. 2011 is a new year. 2010 is gone, and that's the way we approached it. And we're going to turn the page and go forward.
Coach, you mentioned a couple of Valpo's returning players, etc. What about them, either physically or schematically, impresses you?
Well, they've changed a little bit schematically as far as defensively. You know, they've changed some things they're doing, and I see them trying to contain the football a lot more, playing some more cover 2, doing some things like that. And you know, you play a lot more cover 2 when you want to keep from giving up the big plays. And then offensively, last year they were a little bit more of a quarterback style run game, along the lines of an Oregon, very similar. Coach likes to play fast. They like to play fast on offense. They like to score quick. But I see them now being more of a team that likes to throw the football first. You know, they're going to run the football when they have to if you give it to them. But they like to throw the football, and they have 9 different receivers catch balls in the game, catch footballs. So they like to spread the ball around, and you know, for a freshman fresh out of the box, 394 yards. It's a pretty good day for a freshman. I don't care who it is, who you're playing, what you're doing. We know that's a pretty good night, and you know, they're going to challenge us. They're going to see if we can defend the pass.
Has Christian Bryan kind of exceeded your expectations? I mean, you recruited him, you know.
Well, that's the kind of guys we want. You know, if you have a team with Christian Bryan, you got a chance to be pretty good. But he is a student of the game. Football is important to him. He's got a chance to be special. You know, he's come in here and done a really good job. All indications are he's got a chance to have a bright future. And you know, I think he's kind of a leader of that class in his own way. He does it by example, though. You know, he doesn't necessarily talk about it all the time. Just goes out and does it. He's the first one on the field, out there running routes. He never complains. I mean, he's never tired. His legs are never tired. They might be, but you'd never know it. And that's an exciting thing, you know, as far as having a guy like him on your team is he makes the whole group better. Right now, our whole receiving group's better because they have to work up to his standards. You know, and it's a young group of guys. I mean, you start looking around that group of receivers that we have out there. Those guys are young. I mean, you got Barasa. I mean, he's only a sophomore. He hasn't played a lot of football. I mean, he has not played a lot of football. You got Kentrell Disher, freshman, Stubbs, Bryan. You know, so I mean, it's a young group of guys, and it's good to have a young guy like him that has those built-in leadership qualities to lead that group.
Is he kind of like maybe an extra coach for you there, just the way he
Well, I think he will be that in time. He just kind of keeps to himself right now and just does what he has to do. But I would say in a short period of time, he's definitely be a coach on the field. He's got a bright future, football and outside of football.